Hi, welcome back to our Freebie Friday video. Today's topic is one of the series that we're doing on the crazy legal tactics that people try to use when they're in a legal dispute or part of a legal case. Today's topic is going to be about what I call intellectual bullying. There is that terminology out there that describes when people tend to be condescending or use their expertise in a particular area to talk down to people or to intimidate others. And in this context, I'm using it to imply when adults do the same thing, but especially doing this to try to coerce compliance out of the other party. And you'll see people doing this a lot if they have expertise, as I said. So they actually do have maybe superior knowledge in a particular area because they're trained in that area. Perhaps they have a psychology degree, or they have a finance degree and things like that. Or maybe they went to criminal justice school, but they're not quite lawyers, but they come across as if they know everything about that topic when they're dealing with an opposing party or even dealing with the lawyers. But in this case, we're going to talk in the context of a party to the other party, because that's what typically happens. When they're doing this, they would throw out statistics, data, and studies, articles, and point you to different codes of law, statutes out there to try to prove their point and to try to say that you're in the wrong and they're in the right. And they'll also use this information incorrectly a lot of the times. So maybe the statistics are out there, but they're not applicable to your particular facts or set of facts. And this person will twist those statistics around to make them look like they do apply. And if they maybe read something on Google about a particular legal theory, they will try to claim that that theory applies in their case, that's why they're going to win as against you. So it's essentially to intimidate you, to put fear in your heart and in your mind, and sow that seed of doubt to force you to back down from your position or to reevaluate whether you're suing them or trying to defend yourself. So it's a way to coerce compliance, and if you're not careful and not aware that this is being used against you, you'll maybe get caught up in the whole cycle of frustration and worry, and that would undermine your ability to defend yourself or to present your case, especially if you're in the right. So don't let people get under your skin that are using this particular tactic, and they will use it, and sometimes it's the lawyers using it. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. So they might throw out big words at you. If, let's say, you're representing yourself, you don't have a lawyer, or even when you have a lawyer, if you read some of the correspondence between the lawyers, you'll see that some lawyers tend to use big words unnecessarily. Sometimes we cannot help it because that's the popular or the common term that's used in the legal world for that particular thing. But some lawyers will go out of their way to use, this $1 million words every single time, and tends to be used to confuse people. I mean, that's not necessary, and it tends to put people off anyway. So I would say be careful that you're not the one using this particular tactic, especially if you're doing it unknowingly. It might be causing the other party to feel some hostility towards you, or more hostility than they already felt. And so you don't want that if your end goal is to have a positive outcome. And usually you cannot really use the justice system to bully people and get away with it for too long if they have a good lawyer on their side. So be mindful of that. And if somebody's using this on you, you could certainly call them out on it and say, your big words don't impress me much. You could definitely tell them that you are very well aware that any person can go out there and find articles, studies, and statistics to support their point if they look hard enough. So you're not swayed by any kind of statistics that they throw at you. This type of personality would threaten you sometimes too by saying that they're going to sue you for defamation, libel, slander because of things that you've claimed in your motion or your court documents, that you're essentially damaging their reputation with friends, with coworkers, with clients, and things like that. Even when you're in the right and your lawsuit is completely legitimate and your lawyer has checked out the facts and figured out that the objective facts are as you said they were, and that you can actually move forward with your lawsuit. But this other person might come across in email or text messages or phone calls and threaten you with some sort of consequence that's not actually true. That's not a true consequence that's out there. So be careful when people are doing that, and make sure you are aware of what the difference is. Check facts, and if you hear about any legal theories that you're not sure about and you're worried about, check with your lawyer or do a consultation with a lawyer that's familiar with that field, and let them tell you, let the objective person tell you what is really going on. If the numbers have to do with finances and this person is just throwing out numbers at you and things like that, you can always consult a professional in that field as well. So that's my quick overview of this. And remember, when you're in a legal case, a lot of tactics are used, and we'll go ahead and cover the most commonly seen tactics within the legal field, used mostly by the parties and sometimes by the lawyers. And this will give you a heads up so that you know when somebody is using it against you or trying to use it against you. And it will also make you more self-aware so that you're not the one using these crazy tactics, because they tend to be crazy in the end, because there are better and more effective tactics that you can actually use. So that's my goal in doing this video series, and stay tuned for the next one. Make sure you're on the lookout, because we'll be releasing a lot more of them. We're doing quite a few days of crazy legal tactics. So I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.